Hello children, welcome to the fourth video of Polity chapter Constitutional Design. In this video, children, I will explain you the guiding values of the Constitution and about overall philosophy of what our Constitution is all about and what Constitution say about its own philosophy. Children, make it clear that Constitution is not about institution. Listen it carefully, children. That Constitution is not about institutions, but it is also about values. The Constitution has articles which have been derived from Gandhian's values and liberal values from other. Children, you will be surprised that some basic values were incorporated in our Constitution from pre-independence India. Let's see the guiding values of Indian Constitution. We can understand the Constitution of India through two ways. First, by reading the views of some of major leaders of Constitution. Second, by understanding what the Constitution say about its own philosophy. Children, here are the photos of three eminent leaders. First one is of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Second, Mahatma Gandhi, who is known as Father of Nation. Third, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the first Prime Minister of India. Children, if you see these three leaders' views, thoughts, they were not the member of Constituent Assembly. Still, their thoughts, ideas, and the views reflected in our Constitution. The dream and the promises of three leaders. If you see, children, first Mahatma Gandhi was a member of Constituent Assembly. Mahatma Gandhi, in his magazine Young India in 1931, see what he wrote in his magazine out. He spelled out what he wanted the Constitution to do. He wanted all communities shall live in perfect harmony and there should be no untouchability. If you see about second leader, Bhimrao Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. Bhimrao Ambedkar criticized Mahatma Gandhi's and his vision. Ambedkar also wanted inequalities should be removed, means all should be equal. He recognized one vote, one person, one value. Children, he favored for the reservation for the upliftment of backward people. Whereas if we talk about third leader, Jawaharlal Nehru gave speech on midnight of August 1947. He stated, when the word sleep, India will awake to life and freedom. Freedom and power brings responsibilities. Services of India means services of the millions. Listen it carefully, children. Services of India means services of the millions who suffer. The ambitions of the greatest man of our generation has been to wipe every tears from every eyes. He wants that the makers of the Constitution should take the pledge means promise, of dedication to the service of India and her people and to the larger cause of humanities. Children, philosophy of the Constitution is reflected in its preambles, which outline the essence of the Constitution. It consists of the dreams and the aspirations of the great leaders and citizens. Second point, it tells the nature of the Indian society and values that inspired and guided the freedom struggle. Children, all values are embedded in the preamble of the Indian Constitution. If you see our preamble, the Constitution begins with the short statement of the basic values. This is called the preambles to the Constitution. From this chart, you can understand the philosophy of the Constitution. Values are embedded in the preambles, and the preamble is the introductory statements of the basic values of the Constitution. It contains the philosophy on which the entire Constitution is based on. If you see in this flow chart, it is the first line of the preambles. We, the people of India, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Children, preamble is like preface of a book. Here is the preamble. If you see the starting line which I had read earlier, it is here in this photo. It is the soul of the Indian Constitution. It gives in brief all the laws and the action of the government. Some important terms in the Constitution. Let's see the meaning of sovereign, socialist, secular. It means, first, if you see sovereign, it means people have supreme right to make decision on internal as well as external matter. No external power can dictate the government of India. Second word, socialist, means wealth is generated socially and should be shared equally by society. Government should try to reduce social economic inequalities. There should be equality in the society. Third word, secular, mean citizen of our country have complete freedom to follow any religion, and there should be or there is no official religion. Government treats all religion equally. Children, the preamble of the Constitution reads like a poem on democracy. It is the soul of Indian Constitution. All this make our country a democratic and republic India. Dear children, actually our constitution is a very long and detailed document. Therefore, it needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated as world and politics kept on changing. So, these changes in constitution refers to constitutional amendments. In this, in this children, provisions are made to incorporate changes from time to time in our constitution. These changes are called constitutional amendment. It needs to be amended quite regularly to keep it updated. If you see first point, Articles 159 deals with the constitutional amendments, power to amend the constitution. In general, the provision states that the Parliament can amend the federal constitution by passing a law or federal law. In this constitutional amendment, it is needed, children, it is needed. Reason behind it. The constitution is not perfect and was not meant to be rigid. Reason, it has survived more than 230 years, children, more than 230 years, because it can be changed through the amendment process only. If you see, our constitution has been amended 27 times. Children, means changes brought in the constitution. But the process can be difficult, often taking several years for an amendments to be passed. Children, it will be clear from this table, the amendment process will be clear to you from this table. So see, to propose amendment is proposed by 2/3 of both the houses and Senate. Next, 2/3 of the states petitions for the national conventions. To rectify, means how it can be amended, means 3/4 of the states vote to approve the amendments. Or next point, if you see in next table, states call a special convention to rectify, and it has been done only once. If you see last point, states usually get 7 years to decide on an amendment. So, children, values like human dignity, equal rights, liberty, equality, and fraternity can be considered as universal values. This was the aim of this chapter. Give respect, take respect, love each other, take care, stay home, be happy. Thank you, my dear children.